In the case of Chris Watts, investigators hit a major turning point. On the morning of August 13, 2018, a quiet neighborhood in Frederick, Colorado woke up to a nightmare no one saw coming. A pregnant mother of two, Shanann Watts, and her daughters Bella and Celeste had vanished. The only person still there was her husband, Chris Watts, and when he spoke to the cameras that day, asking for their safe return, people watching thought the same thing. This is a devastated father who just lost his family, but investigators heard something else. They heard a story that didn't fit. Shanann wasn't the type to disappear. She was active online, constantly communicating with friends, and deeply involved in her children's lives. She had just returned from a work trip and was expecting another child. Nothing about her life suggested she would walk away from it overnight, but Chris told a different version. He said he woke up and she was gone. Yet her phone was left behind. Her car was still there, and the girls were missing too. At first, he suggested something emotional happened between them, that maybe she had taken the kids and left after an argument. But friends said Shanann was trying to save her marriage, not run from it. She had plans. She had messages. She had a future she was actively building. Chris, on the other hand, didn't react like someone searching for his missing family. His tone stayed flat. His answers stayed rehearsed. And when investigators started comparing his timeline with phone data and neighbor footage, the gaps started to widen. Then came the interrogation. At first, he held his story. Then it started shifting. Small contradictions, changed details, nervous pauses that got longer. And then the story fractured completely, and he started speaking in fragments that didn't fully connect at first, until finally the truth came out. Shanann had come home that morning after her trip. There was a confrontation about the marriage. Emotions escalated, and in that moment, everything changed forever. He admitted to killing her inside the home, but what came next was even harder to process. The children were still alive after that. That detail didn't make things clearer. It made everything heavier, because it meant there was a second decision, a second point where everything could have stopped. Instead, he drove away from the house with what he had done, taking the situation to a remote work site where he tried to erase what happened. But investigators were already closing in. Search crews moved fast after his confession, and the worst fears were confirmed. Shanann was found near the All site. The girls were found shortly after. What looked like a normal family from the outside had collapsed into one of the most disturbing cases in modern true crime history. How does something like this happen inside a home that looked completely ordinary from the outside? Like and subscribe for more true crime.